Welcome to Royally Unhinged, the podcast where we talk all things marketing, networking, and wizardry. Abracadabra. I'm one of your co-hosts, Princess Paula.
I'm Tara B.
And together, we are Royally Unhinged. All right, we have such a treat for you today. We are live. Where are we, Tara?
We are at the Woodbury Expo today at Woodbury High School. It is April 5th, and we are having such a good time already, I think.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
By the time you see this, it's going to be useless. You can't actually come here.
No, it's not. But we have an amazing lineup today.
We do.
We have some wonderful people that we are going to have some awesome conversations with, and we have our first guest here already.
Super excited. You may have heard him on previous
first episode. He was sitting in the back.
Yes, you might have saw his feet in the shot, and
That's
we
right.
have mentioned him before, but we are super excited to have in the studio
Matthew Deery with Added Elements.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so we are going to have so much time. We are not going to have enough time to dive into all things Added Element.
So we're going to have Matt come back at another time probably. But
I like it.
Or we'll just put him in the basement. We'll
just have him
lock
hide in the basement
That's
all
right.
the time. It's going to be...
We'll let him up
It's going to be fun.
under the stairs. We'll put him under the stairs. Potter!
That's
I'll
right.
put him in the closet in the studio.
There we go.
I might not fit, though.
And we'll just let you out every once in a while. Okay, so tell us, who are you? Who is it Matt or Matthew? Or
either's
Mateo?
fine. Usually, so normally in my byline, it says Matthew. But most people call me Matt.
I call
but
him Sir Matthew.
Sir Matthew.
ooh,
Yes, it's very
fancy.
formal. Tara and I have a very formal
Well, what do you
relationship.
prefer? Everyone always has a preference.
Matt's fine. But
right.
normally, like, if I have something that is, so I used to be a journalist. And so,
I did
For
not
my-
know that.
so in my byline, it was always Matthew Deery. Yep.
Byline in
Yep.
his Okay, let's
Yep.
just stop right now. We're off the rails.
This
right
already-
off the...
Right away.
right
Already
off
happened.
We didn't... no, did you go to... You went to journalism
I
school?
went to journalism school. So I went to the University of Minnesota, and at the U of M, that's what I wanted to pursue. I wanted to be a movie critic.
Oh
What?
my
Yep.
gosh.
And
Okay,
so-
at the end, you have to give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
That's right.
Or maybe you
What's
would have
our
your
Rotten
own thing.
Tomato score?
No, but
Rotten
maybe he would
Tomato
have his
score, yeah.
own thing, like his own Matt score, or like the Matt meter.
So when I used to write movie reviews, we used to do movie grades. So it's A+ down to Fs. And so
my
I'm
gosh.
taking notes.
So yeah, when I started, I wanted to be a movie critic. I loved movies. I loved the idea of storytelling. And so when I was just kind of getting started out back in like 2007,
Yeah.
I was going to movies a lot, and I just had a blog, and I started writing on a blog. It's called Disputed Knowledge.
Is
Wait,
it still
is it
out
still-
there?
It is not.
Oh.
It is,
You're
but
just dropping. You're just teasing.
But so then I actually had a friend who I went to high school with, and he had a website called the Movie Mash, and then I started to collaborate with him, and then I joined their website, and him and I ran it together. And at one point, we had 13 writers on staff,
Wow.
and we were actually
What?
we had we were an accredited
you know
blog.
anything?
No.
I know it is. I
Pulling
left.
back the curtain today.
That's right,
on
exactly.
Matthew
I
Deery.
left the heavy hitters for
For this.
For the
He
podcast.
saved it for this, everybody.
content.
Oh my word. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. We got to pause here again for a moment. I'm not going to ask for your all-time favorite movie, but let's say top 3 or some of your, because no one can ever pick just one.
That's right, yeah.
But like, what would be in your top 3?
So I have kind of like a smorgasbord of like really smorgasbord
Word
of
of the day.
favorites.
Word of the day. Word of the podcast. Word of the day. Smorgasbord.
Yes. So I have. We're off the rails already. I'm gonna be a shepherd, and I'm gonna
Bring
bring
us
them
back.
We did that the first episode too. If you go back and watch our short on YouTube where Paula has a laugh attack,
Yeah.
he had to bring me back and remind us
And
why
remind
we are
us
there.
even where we were. Okay, let's back on the rails. So favorite movies. My favorite movies are Apollo 13.
Yes.
Interesting.
October Sky, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button,
Yeah.
V for Vendetta.
yes.
It's
Okay.
a Wonderful Life.
Whoa. Okay, you were just kind of starting in one genre and then
Oh, it's all over the place.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's
Oh
one
my
of
gosh.
I sob
every single time.
at the very end when
Yes.
his brother, when Harry comes back and says, to my brother George, the
Spoilers.
richest man in town. It's like, I'm just...
It's so
Oh my
good.
Every
gosh.
time.
Okay, now I want to have a movie-a-thon with you.
Oh,
so
we
will-
have to
can
do
see
a
the
whole
tears,
other-
Oh, I
because
will
I
bawl.
can't imagine him crying.
Ball.
Wait,
I like
you
sob.
haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life. Are you the weird Christmas person that hasn't
Yes.
seen the
Oh,
Christmas
it's so
movies?
good.
Okay,
I watch
girl.
it every Christmas.
Every year.
Every single
And
year
I
I
cry
watch
every
it.
time.
Every single
I
time
watch
cry.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
See?
It's a good movie. The Santa
Anyways,
Claus.
We're off the rails, folks.
Okay, I just love this.
Yes.
This is going to be out. We need to do a whole
Wait,
other follow-up
how-
podcast on movies.
Okay, so when you started this whole journalism thing, because you're still pretty young.
I'm 39.
Oh, I thought you were younger than me.
Oh, you're old. Just like, oh, never
Yeah.
mind.
That's not what
That
I meant.
was, well,
Wow.
stab
you
in the back.
look young.
Okay.
Girl.
Well, okay,
That's
so
what
thank
I'm
you. There we
saying.
go. Now
That's
the
what I'm
compliments are
saying.
coming
I
back
wasn't
in.
expecting that. I thought you were younger than me.
How old are you?
I'll be 35 in 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah. I'm your elder.
He's the elder millennial.
He's the Elder Scrolls, is what he is.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to interject for one moment because we have to actually say Matt is with Added Element. So we want to make sure that we talk about the current
The
company
reason why he is here
that and
today.
how he has helped us with all things lighting,
Yes.
and they are phenomenal. Like, we love Added Element, and for me as a speaker, if you've seen my super awesome razzle dazzle
speaker
reel, Added Element. And
Thank you.
know, I let him out of the basement so he could follow me around with a camera and a microphone.
Yes.
And
Thank
the
you.
work that they do is so good because they're not just following you around with a camera. There's such production value. There's thought behind it. Like,
Yep.
and it's not just you. Tell us a little bit about who Added Element is.
Yes, absolutely. So, Added Element was founded by myself and Corey Whipper. And so, Corey and I have been working together since 2016. And so, we actually shot weddings together. And that's kind of the marriage that kind of started as when I would book a wedding, I would hire him. When he would book a wedding, he would hire me. And we kind of just really started to collaborate together. And Corey is really, really skilled and talented in the minutia and the technicalities of production. And I'm a little bit more of the big picture, the director, the producer, the person who can kind of see 3 or 4 steps ahead. And Corey is the one who is tinkering with lighting and audio and really understanding the minutia of creating that quality. And I'm a little bit more of like, how are we telling the story? So we kind of had this good partnership that we were really doing well together, doing weddings. And then the pandemic hit. And one of my mentors had told me that, because back when we were doing weddings, we were doing photography, we were doing drone, we were doing commercial stuff, so we were
All
just
the
kind of like
things.
scraping it all in. And one of my mentors said, look, brides don't care that you do cool commercial work, and your commercial clients don't care that you do
Right.
weddings. So they're completely different audiences.
And that's
And when
you
somebody
separate
goes to your website, if they want to trust you with a $25,000, $50,000 budget, they don't care. That might even be a demerit that you are shooting weddings. You're not focused on their
interesting.
industry. And so from there, we were like, we need a commercial company. We need to have something focused on that. And so the pandemic hit, and all work kind of stopped. And so then we kind of from there started to formulate, all right, what does this look like? How do we come up with a name? How do we come up with a logo? And so we had help with the logo and the website and some of the designing from some of our friends. And from there, it was kind of, all right, now where do we go? And so Added Element was born. You know, pandemic was not a good thing, but that was something
Right.
good that came from
Yeah.
it, is that we kind of had the opportunity with the work stoppage to dedicate ourselves to creating something new. And so I still have a wedding company. It's called Made Right Weddings.
Go
So-
check it out. It's
Made Right-
maderightweddings.com, right?
Made Right. It's wearemaderright.com.
We are made right
Yeah.
weddings.
So if you have a wedding coming up, and again, kind of like what
You're
Paul
brave.
was alluding to, is that quality is our threshold. So we don't do a lot of weddings. We're more of a boutique. And so it's like we do like 3 to 5 weddings of a year, and we do it at this threshold where it's like, it's quality, not quantity.
So
that's
for
where
the
we're at.
wedding side of things, do you guys look for weddings that are kind of at like those really ritzy places, maybe like the Madison
Yep.
in Cottage Grove,
Yep.
or like the really
Yep.
not like your backyard sort of thing?
Yep.
Not that there's nothing wrong with that.
There's
I'm
not.
just-
Absolutely not.
They'll still do your wedding.
Exactly. But our threshold is just, because some weddings are cheaper. When you go and you find wedding videographers, a lot of times they'll offer discounts, and they'll have the opportunity to do it with one person, or they don't offer drone, or they'll only offer one deliverable, like one video, where it's like we just say
we need drone footage.
We do need drone footage.
For one package price, we just say, look, we've been doing this for long enough. We know what good is.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be 2 people. It's always going to have a drone. We're always going to offer the ceremony and the speeches and the highlight film. So we're just like, quality is our threshold, and you're not going below that. So our price point reflects that. And
Love
so
that.
People don't want to meet us at the price point, then it's like, we know we're not for everybody, but we just want to make sure we're catering
Ferrari story.
See earlier things, see my upcoming keynote. Love that. I love that you know who you are. But that's not, you wouldn't say that's your bread and butter. Like you sit in that commercial branding. Well, okay, so what's the most favorite video you've ever done, or unique, or memorable?
You can't say Paula's.
Paula's speaker reel.
Right answer.
I've had a lot of really fun projects. I think a lot of times the most fun I have is when I'm producing and when I'm doing the logistics and I'm sorting through a lot of big problems. And so I've done work where I've produced content for Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, where we have worked with Meta. Yep, out in California.
I love and hate this all at the same time.
Yep.
I do. But
Yeah, no, you guys.
Have you told me
back.
this before?
I don't
and
think
I just
so.
know him? I feel like I
Yep.
don't.
You even
Yep. It was back in 2021. We subcontracted and we did a ton of work for a company in Oregon who works with Meta.
Wow.
We did a ton of content where we were featuring C-suite executives and trying to humanize them and to give, kind of show off some of the things that they do in life outside of work.
Yeah.
So we recorded one guy who had an enthusiasm for race cars, and so he had a race car. We followed him around on a racetrack.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. We've done a lot of fun stuff.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's go. One of the questions I normally ask then, because I met him through you. How did you guys meet and connect? Because clearly
Content.
they just met yesterday.
Hey, I sold him my Pokemon cards though, so I know he loves Pokemon.
I do. So
Okay, hold on. Off the rails.
What is our
the
next-
whole Pokemon thing for a second? That's a thing right now. I've been seeing tons of videos everywhere where people are rushing into a store where there is a crate of cards and they're buying. And I
fighting
have.
over them.
Is it back to that
Hold on a
level?
second.
Oh, yeah.
I've
Yes.
literally been watching TikTok videos where people are showing opening a pack, going through the pack, and as they show each card, they're like, ding, like the value of
Oh,
the
yeah.
ticket.
and,
Deep Pocket
and they'll
Monster,
like open up ones, and it's like, this one's worth $1,200,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, there is a whole world.
Okay, so when we were going through it, or I just gave him my entire binder of Pokemon cards. Like I just gave them to him, and I was like, just look at him. Tell me
sold
what you
them.
think.
Yes, I got to look at them first. Yeah, because
He looked at them first, but
not
then
give them.
he did a video though explaining like all
Oh.
of the.
Who's buying them though? Like if it's a $2,000 card.
Wait, shh, I want to tell. No, he
Off the
explained like
rails.
the value, like if it has a shadow on the border
Yeah.
of like where the picture is, if it's holographic. No,
Yep, holographic. Yep.
holographic, like
First
there's
edition,
certain-
yep.
Yeah, like there's certain rankings on them, and like it's a whole world.
Did you have some that you gave to him and you didn't know and he just scored on your Pokemon?
Did you score on any of those?
Oh yeah. I mean, not well beyond what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He got
Pokemon.
stuff though.
Yeah.
No, that's part of the
I
like.
love
I
this.
just didn't want them. They were just sitting
Right,
in a
when you
binder,
buy
and I was like,
buy in bulk, a lot of times it's the ease of the
Yeah.
transaction, right? So it's like what I did is I bought a lot of them and then I sell them individually. So
To
you make
who?
you make
To
a
who?
to
Where are
the-
you selling these?
Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, I saw you posting some on there.
There's a lot of people
Yeah.
like you said, people are trying to buy them all in stores, but the Pokemon market is like, so there are events like this that are, so the biggest Pokemon show is actually coming to the Civic Center 4 days next
You're
weekend.
going to it, aren't
Oh,
you?
absolutely. And my boys. I have boys and they're coming with me too. We're going to have a
Hold on a
blast.
second.
So cute.
So it's not just the playing, because I thought you could play it on your phone.
You
No,
can
it's
play it on
like-
your phone, but
you
these are the
can.
cards.
But
So-
it's collection now because
Yep.
way back in the day, because all the cards that I gave him were from when I was
Vintage.
in middle school.
Yep. They're
so
vintage
they were
cards.
the vintage
Yep.
set, and now they have all these new Pokemon.
New cards, yep. So
but you're playing with, like, that's a card game. Like, it
is
but
a
people
card
are just
game.
collecting them. Now
Most people are just collecting them.
game.
Yeah, it's kind of like sports cards. Like, sports cards have the same type of value that comes with, having them signed, or this is a Ken Griffey Jr.
Or it's
Nolan
like
Ryan.
Magic cards. Are
Magic
they still
cards
a
as
thing?
well.
You want the collection. Like, you want to build up an epic collection that you can have.
So then somebody will have a set, and it's like all of the cards from a certain set, and they're all in pristine condition, or they're all in bad condition, and so it's thriving.
So is that how you guys first met?
No.
Pokemon cards? Oh.
We just met through the chamber. I mean, pretty much like
Chamber
when
again.
the chamber, Cottage Grove Chamber of Commerce, Lori Levine, thank you very much.
See, that's how
we're all connected.
happened.
When people are like, how do I market my business?
Chamber.
Go and get into a chamber.
So we just kind of met because she's in marketing and I am in video, and so then after,
I think it was like right when you joined the chamber.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if like Lori's like, hey, you should talk to Tara or something like that. But like we just connected.
Well, because I initially kind of offered like, how can I help? I wanted to kind of figure out how I could.
Servant heart.
Yeah, exactly, 100% servant's heart. And so I kind of wanted to figure out a way where I could form some roots. I was new to the crew, and so I asked Lori like, what can I do to serve? And then she's like, all right, well, Tara is one of the people who is kind of in the nuances of our social and kind of our content creation. So then Tara and I connected, and then from there we just kind of became buddies. And we had and I'm like, oh my gosh, you love Harry Potter.
Yeah, and then we just like started, and then I think the connection really happened when we started doing recordings for the chamber videos at Matt's home studio.
Yep.
So Lori and I went over there, and like we initially were like talking about Harry Potter or something, and then I started talking to him about
Are you a Harry Potter fan too?
Oh, I love Harry Potter.
See, I feel like he's really helping us because
I have a little
Harry
bit of
Potter
FOMO right now between
I've read the Harry Potter books each one of them several times.
Like the books better or the movies better?
Oh, the books are significantly better. It's not even close.
So much out of the movie. I haven't read all the books. I'm admitting it, but But Garrett tells me when we watch the movies, he'll like call things out, and he's like, "Oh, they didn't do that. They didn't say this about this character or whatever." I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, the Hershey's Kisses we have in the bowl over there are all Harry Potter inspired. So on the bottom of them, it is either like the houses or little sayings. Those are all.
Have I ever asked you what house are you?
Oh,
I'm Gryffindor. I'm definitely a Gryffindor.
I don't know. I'm
know brave.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I would fight the dragon.
She thinks I'm Hufflepuff.
I think Hufflepuff. I think you'd be a Hufflepuff.
Is that good? I don't know which is the one that Harry's in.
He's a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Oh.
But Cedric Diggory is Hufflepuff.
Yeah. So they're very smart. They're very calculated. So I mean.
Okay, I can accept that. What are you?
Hufflepuff.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We can be together.
I would fight a dragon, so I think I'm Gryffindor.
Would you?
I think I would. I've got that Papa Bear mentality.
I feel like we all have a portion of a house though. Like it's not like you're solely Hufflepuff, because like there's a lot about Slytherin that I'm like,
right.
I could dig that.
Yeah, it's not all.
Yeah.
You know,
mainly Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
But
you've taken the quiz, haven't you?
Of course I've taken the quiz. I know my Patronus. I know my wand. Like I don't remember.
You have a Patronus?
Any good nerd has taken the quiz.
Have you?
Probably sometime. I don't know. Like recently.
We should take it again. Honestly.
Yes, we should.
Because that was like a such different season of when I did that than where I am now.
Right.
So like the answers to the questions that I would do now are probably way different than what they were.
Have you read your kids the books?
So my son Henry is an avid reader. He's 9, and he read I introduced him to the books, and he read all of them in like 8 months. All of them.
That's impressive.
So he cruised through them, and it's funny because he reads so fast that I'll be like, "Oh yeah, did you catch the part when there was this little Easter egg?" And he's like, "Oh no, I don't even remember that." And I'm like, "Okay, you got to go back and read them again, Henry." Like,
do you have the illustrated ones?
I do.
Okay.
Yep. So I have.
I was gonna say that's what Kai is going through.
The first
right now.
5, and so that's all they have. And the 6th one is coming out TBD, but I have all the books, and I used to work. Back before my career got started, I used to work in a manufacturing job, and I just do the same thing over and over and over. And so I had an iPod, and I had
more you
earbuds in, and I would just listen to. So Jim Dale is the guy who read the Harry Potter books, and he is an amazing. He just reads the books and he does all the different character voices.
Really?
So I would listen to the books
That's
on
awesome.
repeat. So actually, he is the world record holder because, or at least he was when I read it. But in the Order of the Phoenix, he has they tested it, and he has distinct voices for each character, and he has the most different distinct voice characters
Wow.
for any audiobook
That is
ever.
a great fun
I
fact.
wonder,
Yeah.
does he do any of like the voices for like any TV shows or anything?
I don't
wonder
know,
if he does.
but he's super he's
If you are
fantastic.
watching this, listening to this right now,
Comment
and
below.
comment below if you know that he does the voices for
Jim
something.
Dale.
We
Jim
would
Dale.
love
That's
to know
cool.
Yep.
that. Yeah.
He's uber talented.
Okay, so scooching back
Yeah, off the rails.
to the chamber. So you guys met at
Yep.
the chamber.
Yes.
And then that's where
Well, and then Matt, it
started
was
showing
coming
up
in-
at everything.
Well, yeah, but it was
No, on purpose.
Can't get rid of me.
But no, it was coming into the new season of the board of directors, and
Yep.
then
Did you get voluntold?
I was asked, and I
he
told
was
them that I
almost
have
voluntold
too much going on. I have 4 kids at home, and
You
they're
have
all
4 kids?
Yeah, 9, 7, 5, and 1.
Good for you.
So, and I just have, I help assistant coach my son's traveling baseball team, and so that's busy. And then I also help coach my other son's, my 7-year-old's baseball team, and so it is. It's a busy schedule. My calendar is bonkers. So
and
my
your wife works full time.
and my wife, she doesn't work full time, so she's a nurse, and so she's a 0.5.
Okay,
So that means
okay.
she works 5 shifts every 2 weeks. So she's actually working right now. So I have babysitters at home.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you for being here
Yes,
today.
absolutely.
Another reason why he's awesome.
Yep. And so I just the executive board wasn't a fit at this season in life. Right now, I'm really focused on being the best dad I can.
Nice.
And so, Tara and I just kind of started, once we figured out we're nerds together, it was like, Halo and Avengers and
Honestly,
Marvel.
I'm gonna tell you.
and-
So yesterday, Paula told me, she was like, "This is my gearing up. Like, this is what I do to like gear up for an event or whatever." And I started listening to a playlist when we gear up for things. So like, I'm a Comic-Conner. I go to Comic-Con.
You
Yeah.
do?
We put a playlist together when we were on our way to Comic-Con and stuff, and it's all nerd out songs.
Yep.
So it's Ghostbusters, it's Halo, it's Skyrim, but the second song on there is the Pokemon theme song.
Pokemon.
So I was listening to it this morning before, and I was like, Matt's gonna love this.
I'm glad we
There's
brought
a thing-
that up.
Okay, I just feel I'm having a little bit of FOMO, but I'm also feeling like I need to do some research.
Yes. We can.
Okay, since you said Avengers, you said Avengers.
Yep.
all the things.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh.
Like as a superhero, what would your superpower
I wouldn't mind.
be?
So one of my favorite superheroes is Iron Man. I like
Yes.
Tony Stark.
Yes.
I just like the idea of being a human still, but being able to use your intellect to create an
And
advantage.
he's a techie guy, and you're a techie
Yes.
guy, so
Yep.
that makes sense to me.
And even just like how cool is Iron Man? Like,
yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. obviously did such a good job in the role that it's like, I don't know, Iron Man was like the first kind of keystone property from Marvel and kind of, jettison the franchise into what it became. And so I just love Iron Man. I think that's who I would. Super intellect and super wealth. To be super rich.
That would be super nice.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to keep throwing us back over to Added Elements. I want to make sure that everybody
Stock video production.
Knows who Added Element is.
So, what kind of sets you apart? I mean, you told us before, but tell our friends what sets you apart from Joe, the camera guy.
So I think that we like to imagine ourselves as more of a partner. And so video production is a lot of times people just don't know what they don't know. And there's a lot that goes into creating good stories. A lot of times people will look at something on Facebook that's captured with a camera or a cell phone or, 4K camera or 6K camera on a phone. It's like, why do we have to pay for all these elements of production? And so when we look at stuff like that, we say, yes, this is good. This is good for user-generated content, UGC. But a lot of times when you see commercials or stuff that has really good storytelling to it, it's like there's a lot more nuance and there's a lot more intention that goes behind just using a cell phone and capturing it. And so our pitch is always that we want to be a partner and not just somebody who gets who executes and produces videos and then hands them to you and says, okay, good luck. We want to figure out, when we initially are meeting somebody, if we've never worked with them before, we want to have a discovery, and we want to be able to discover, right, what is your business about, and then why are you coming to us? When you're coming to us, like, what problems are you trying to solve? Because ultimately you want to use video as a tool. And so if you're using a tool, it's like, what is this tool fixing? All right, so what is the problem you're trying to fix? Is it you're trying to have new recruits come in? Are you trying to have the right recruits coming in? Are you trying to sell a new product? Are you trying to create awareness? And so it's not a one size fits all. And so if somebody doesn't come in with intention, then their videos are just going to be a waste of an investment. And so
I want to say too, because that is marketing. That's video marketing right there. And there are so many out there that don't go through that whole marketing process. It's the same thing that I always had when I worked at a print shop. There's a difference of print production, graphic design, and graphic design with a marketing intent, and you just hit it right there. There's videos, commercial videos out there that it's just like, oh, you want this, okay, let's just do it. But what we're hearing right now is that there's an actual process and a marketing and like an analysis, basically like your SWOT analysis and marketing of like, why do you need this? What are your strengths? How can we capitalize on those best?
Well, I love what you're saying, because we've all heard that content or video is king, right? Video is king. And everyone's like, I have to have video, I have to have video. And again, we've talked about this on other episodes where people are running around going like, I need this thing, well, why? Like, who told you? And it's not just
the why.
having
you need the why to
and being intentional, and not just going like, I need video. I
keeping
need to
up
have
with
some
the
kind of
Joneses.
video. Well, don't just, if you just stick it out there willy nilly, like a smorgasbord of video, then it
word of the day.
Then it doesn't make sense. So that being intentional, having a plan, and going, how are we going to use this to get traction?
Because I think most of our success has come from long-term partnerships, and so you'll find that most of the people who we come alongside are coming back to us year after year after year because they're finding value in what we've created for them. And so that is because we've been intentional about how we're doing this. And so we've even in the past been more advocates. It's almost like a financial, like a fiduciary, where it's like they say we want
a what?
Fiduciary. So that means
that's Matt's word of the day. Fiduciary.
So the financial planners acting on your behalf, right? So they're not going to make a recommendation on them making money. They want to be able to advocate for you. And so we believe that by doing that, we've even had conversations where they said, we have $5,000, we want to make this video. And we've been like, okay, I don't think that this is going to be a good fit. I don't think this is going to have a return on your investment. So maybe there's another way that this money could be allocated. And so then I think when you create that type of collaboration, then you're going to build trust, right? Because you want to be able to trust the people that you work with. So I think when we build that trust with some of our clients, they understand that when we say this isn't a good fit, or this is actually something we should allocate more budget towards, because this is a flagship type product, and we want to be able to make sure that we sell it right. For instance, like if you're trying to sell an expensive product and you're saying we have $500 to market this video, it's like, okay, this is not commensurate, right? Where you want to market this product to a high-end user. It's like, well, then if you're going to use really cheap means to be able to try and market it, then you're not going to quite connect with your audience.
Okay, so follow-up question: do people trust you? Hold on. Do people back up? That came out wrong. Hold on.
I don't know about that.
Do people trust? Hold on. Do people trust your judgment? And I say this because someone will come along and be like, "I need a website. I need a doodly-doo. I need a video." And then you say, "Okay, based on my experience and what I do," and you're trying to educate them and help them along, but they've just come along and said, "Okay, I need a bibbidi-bobbidi-boo because that's what I heard or read or saw." Yep. So someone comes to you and they're like, "I need a video thing." And you're going, well, I'd like to have a conversation with you, and you can trust me because this is what I do day in, day out. Do you encounter a lot of people who just kind of show up and go, I need a this?
Yes,
Give it
100%.
to me, please.
Yes, 100%. And that's where, again, the discovery process is really important, because because the worst thing that we can do is we can give somebody something and then they're not going to actually see any sort of return. We're going to it's going to end up with a sour taste in their mouth. We want to create partnerships, and I think the best way to do that is by understanding the problems that they're trying to solve. So if they come to us, it's like, all right, help us understand what problem this is going to solve. And if they don't have a good answer, then it's like, okay, then let's kind of drill down and figure out what is the problem that, like, there's obviously every business has some sort of issues that need to be worked out. And sometimes video is a solution for that, and sometimes video is not.
Whoa. What? I would like to hear more, because everyone's always like, it's all video, you need video, everything needs video, just be doing video, scrap everything else and do video. Like right now,
True.
Yep.
There's such a thing for only video, and you just said sometimes this is, whatever you just said that
Sometimes video is not the solution.
Like what? Give us an example.
I would say video is not going to be the solution when you don't have real intent behind it and you don't actually understand what the end goal is. What is it that we're trying to achieve with the video? Because sometimes people just say, hey, we want to have you just come out and shoot people at our office, and we want to have you interview them. It's like, okay, well, what is the intent behind this? And so if they don't have a goal, we can help them map out that goal. But sometimes if you don't have the right, like for instance, if it's a one-off product, it's like, okay, then how much do you want to invest into something that isn't actually going to be evergreen, right? So it's like we create this video and we spend all this money on it, and then the product isn't necessarily going to last beyond 6 months or a year. But it's like this video is only going to have this shelf life. It's like, then is this investment going to be worth your time?
Can I, with the type of video that you guys do, is there, and I just want for our friends to know if they want to hire you to do a video. So do you only do long form video? Do you do short form video? Do you do both? Do you do whatever? Like what can they hire you guys to actually
literally
do?
Anything and everything. So like I said, we have done everything from short films that have been in film festivals and helped produce some of that, and that's a whole different area.
And you do script writing too.
Script writing, yep. And so, short films is more narrative based, where it's like this is what we do at Element is more commercial based, but we really do anything and everything. Short form, long form, drone. We've flown drone through warehouses and all sorts of different ways.
You do because I think that's the coolest thing ever. So you do that too.
So that is something that I don't do. So I am an accredited and licensed insured drone pilot, but when we've done it in the past, we hire the right talent. And so a lot of times when you see some of the stuff that we do, if we don't necessarily have the experts level of skills to be able to execute in a timely manner, we bring people on. So we subcontract and we find like Corey and I are, I would say, like either elementary or like middle school type animators, but really if we need expert level collegiate PhD animation, we have a network of people who we bring in to say, all right, we need this animation, we need it done next week, and then those people are executing. And then for drone, like one of our clients was Graybar. So Graybar is kind of like the Amazon for the commercial commercial electrical.
Yep.
And so they have a 324,000 square foot warehouse in Brooklyn Park, and we flew a drone through it, and we captured the entire warehouse because they just acquired new space and they wanted to be able to showcase it all.
That's so cool.
So we had the drone start off in one part of the warehouse and go through and then fly through shelves and around and down.
That just reminded me of The Office, the one where they do their own commercial, and it's like they follow the paper airplane all the way through and stuff. That's exactly what that just reminded me of.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And so we've done that, but so we didn't fly the drone there. We hired, that's called FPV drone flying, and that's where the pilots wear the goggles and they can see exactly what the drone is doing.
I've seen that.
And so we have people in our network who we would hire to do that.
Love that.
That's kind of where we kind of understand what our capabilities are, and we are a master of certain capabilities, but then when we kind of see something that's out of our reach, we're just like, all right, but we have people in our network who are going to help us execute that under the umbrella of Added Element.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
All right, before we kind of land
I
this
think we're
drone.
getting to our time
But wait,
right
I
now.
want to
yeah,
make
we
sure
are.
I
This
want to
went
make sure that
fast.
we ask this question. So, because a friend of mine recently posted this on LinkedIn. Shout out to you, Carrie Cook. You're awesome. So I want to ask this to you, and I'm going to look off your clipboard because mine's too far away. So, she had this phrase, WTF,
Oh, yeah.
willingness to fail. So, tell us about a time that you failed and what lessons you learned from that.
I love that.
Being an entrepreneur, I fail all the time, right? In terms of you're always constantly engaging in conversation with people and networking and trying to sell your services. So as a salesman, you fail all the time, and so you always have to be willing to accept no. And even doing this for over a decade, it's like hearing no is never easy. And so
Yeah.
it's never something that it never gets easier to take in terms of being able to have somebody you really gear up, like you imagine what the video could be like, you imagine what you could do for them, what problems we could solve, and then all of a sudden it's a no. So I think a lot of times that still is like a persistent thing that is difficult to hear.
Yeah.
Outside of the professional world, as a parent, constantly failing, and so as a dad and somebody who's trying to be better, is having my wife keep me accountable, keeping her accountable, and just being able to talk about times when we could have handled something better. And I think that works in the business world. I think being a parent has made me better at my career. It's made me better prioritizing my time and organizing a schedule, and even being patient with people who can sometimes get a little uppity, or there's been
Paula.
times that speaker reel was really hard to do. Revision after revision after revision.
You know what?
Different
But
versions.
that one is so good and so perfect.
It is,
It
yes.
is your crowning. It is the crowning jewel.
It's on our website.
Wait, okay. How many revisions were there?
No, there wasn't a lot. I'm totally kidding.
Okay, I was like,
There wasn't. Listen,
There was very, very few. Very
it was
few.
wonderful to work with
Yes.
Added Element because they were willing to deal with Princess Paula, who's sometimes a bit of a diva.
only sometimes.
Who's your ideal client?
I think our ideal client is anybody who wants to, again, be open to collaborating. Somebody who is willing to dig down into their company and really kind of find some of the peccadillos, find some of the things that aren't quite working right. Am my vocabulary? I'm journalism school.
Okay, hold on a second. Back in the day, there used to be a magazine called Reader's Digest, and in the back of Reader's Digest, every edition was words, like the words, and they would have like the word and 4 definitions, and you had to. I love words, and people who can use words, I'm just like, oh, I am here for it. I'm like, good words. No idea what they mean, but I'm here for them.
Yes.
Probably making them up.
I'm a journalism major, right?
Peccadillos?
go.
What did you say?
Peccadillos. So peccadillos is like things that kind of bug
you know
you,
that?
things that rub you the wrong way. I actually learned peccadillos from Good Will Hunting. Robin
Oh, I
Williams
love this.
mentions.
Oh, second word of the day.
Peccadillos. Yeah, word of the day.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's
like
so good.
our ideal client, again, is just somebody who wants to collaborate, somebody who's open to kind of using our expertise and understanding that because sometimes people just come at us and they just say, here's money, make something for us. And we're a little bit more where we want to be able to say, let's discover a little bit and let's learn a little bit more about your business. Let's learn about more of your exec team, who's making decisions, who are the stakeholders, what is the return that you want to see on this investment. And so ideally, we don't just want somebody to just come up to us with a budget and say, make something for us. We want to be, and that sounds good, but it's like at the end of the day, if they give us money and we don't actually have a goal that is going to be achieved, then they're not going to actually have a good feeling when they leave us. And so we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to collaborate and come alongside them.
Yeah.
And so with that, though, it's like sometimes we have to kind of weed out some of the people who don't necessarily come with the right budget. Being it, Corey and I both having over a decade of experience, we have a certain threshold. We have a minimum level of engagement with our clients, which is normally in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. So that's not necessarily for everybody.
Yeah.
But that definitely, again, allows us to be more of a partner as opposed to just a video producer.
Right.
We don't consider ourselves videographers, right? We don't just we don't just come and show up and with a camera and just shoot an event, as much as we're going to try and figure out, all right, how can we actually service your company and provide solutions. And so
all right, we got to wrap up here. So with that, not this camera, and this camera. So these two cameras, tell the people how to contact you, any fun projects that you have coming up, and
Well, we're partnering with the Chamber of Commerce, so that's always exciting. So we're creating some videos for the exec board. You can reach me. My phone number is 651-343-7604. But the best way to really kind of get an idea of who we are is check out our website. It's addedelement.com, ADDEDELEMENT.com, addedelement.com. It has a great showcase of some of our case studies, some of our best work, a smorgasbord of just beautiful content that really is some of the best that we've created. And so, again, we really like the idea of always having a conversation and being able to start that, because even sometimes people come to us, they're not quite ready to get started, but that's always something that we can map out into the future. It's like, okay, so we don't have the right things in line, the product isn't developed, you guys haven't moved into your new space, you don't have the budget, but let's talk about 2026 and let's talk about beyond that and how we can be of service to you when the stars align.
That's awesome.
Love that. Well, thanks so much for taking time away from the kiddos today. Yeah, and for everything that you've done to help royally Unhinged.
Yes.
Get us lit.
Thank you.
We're lit because of that element.
We're lit
Getting
up.
lit.
Princess Paula. You can go and see their awesome work on my website, princesspaulaconsulting.com.
Sometime it will be on my website, but I just haven't done mine yet.
Someday we're going to get there.
Someday we'll
We've
get
been
there.
trying.
All right. Well, until the next episode, when we'll find out more deep, dark secrets about ourselves or a guest here. I'm Princess Paula.
I'm Tara B.
And together, we are
Royally Unhinged.